evening, compliments of the season. Welcome to the main news on Camnet TV. It is the 31st of December 2023. The headlines. Lusaka residents brace for 2024 amid the persistent high cost of living. The Energy Regulation Board maintains fuel pump price. President HICHILEMA calls for unity in diversity to foster national development. In international news, flash floods killed 21 people in South Africa's KWAZULU-NATAL province. And in sports news, former First President SIMATAA tips CHIPOLOPOLO ahead of AFCON. My name is Sylvia Zulu. To join me with the details shortly.
Introducing Darren B, a touch of class. Are you looking for the perfect place to elevate your style and glam up? Look no further. Darren B Touch of Class is your one-stop destination for hair and makeup transformation. Walk into Darren B and walk out feeling like a star. Your transformation starts here. Call us on 0772 870 588 or WhatsApp on 0972 049 213 to book your appointment today. Payments are made via mobile money or point-of-sale machine. Strictly no cash payments. We are located along Mossy Road in Ibex Hill, fourth close on the left after Kalikiliki Police Post. At Darren B, we pride ourselves on our team of dedicated and trained personnel ready to pamper both women and children. Darren B is open 7 days a week from 0720 hours to 1740 hours. From trendy hairstyles and stylish makeovers to flawless makeup, we do it all. Darren B, a touch of class.
Thank you so much for joining us. This is the main news and now the news in detail. Some residents of Lusaka's Kalikiliki compound in Mumba Constituency are living in fear of a cholera outbreak due to poor sanitation and water supply. One of the concerned residents, Rostina Nakamba, tells Camnet News that the area lacks garbage disposal mechanism, with authorities worsening the situation by dumping waste from a nearby stream at people's yards. Ms. Nakamba says the situation needs urgent attention as people are drinking water from the shallow wells, a situation which can worsen the cholera outbreak in the city.
As the country continues to battle cholera outbreak, this is the source of water for some households in Lusaka's Kalikiliki compound. Residents who spoke to Camnet TV News are living in fear of a possible cholera outbreak, saying some of their neighbors have already started showing signs of the disease.
Bantu bakumwa manzi mwamene bakamba tilibe ndalama ili yonse bati batapa manzi amene aya bakumwa na kumwa amene bantu angaleko odwala elo mkaona mapaipi nayo niyoboka ya manzi so manzi bantu bakumwa teni mabini amene bataya bantu yaenda pa mapaipi bantu bakumwa wangadwale diarrhea bakapeleka pa clinic ati ni kolera manje kolera ankala pa clinic apa onani sembe bati pasako na chani na kolorini yakuti taikako mumanzi olo bantu vija sopo yosambira kumanja kulibe sopo yosambira kumanja kulibe kolorini kulibe chili chonse chakuti bachite treated water so bantu bango okumwa so chabe manzi mukawafunsa bantu penangu bakansela ndiye bamene bamalipirako kujaika bantu atapako manzi
nabatulekeresha kuno bayimu echo batulekeresha ipi chinshi amenshi yaleshupa abantu balefu kubeleza mtu atapa amenshi bakamukunja and I am a foot in Flanga Yaisa, Yala Lamba. Ukwati to one is to Macron to one quarter to look become. But never she no Kunovala no I am mix. Ngoko di Walavacania, Congatauripo and to Kuno, never known Valen. A mad idea, Yachira Mukuno. Miranda Chinicola, but Cola Vantone idea if you are green, if you are yellow, Lukuruka if you are yellow. No good idea yellow. But you won't have a clinic at the
On the other hand, these residents are displeased with a garbage that has been dumped at their doorsteps during the unblocking of this stream.
Toilet nayo ni ozula. Olo kuti muone ma toilet mungene mukope ma toilet navo ni vozula ma toilet. Kaili manzi kwa meti mankali kwa manama nyamuka pa mwamba chiteni. Mabini ya mene wanaleta apateni mkopeko mabini pa nyumba ya muntu mabini so. bangalekotwala kolera pa nyumba mapini yali apa pa nyumba banabwera badedeni yesi kubwera okumba banapitosa mukamana vimapini ndiye bamene banayika pa doo ya muntu so bantu nibodwala
basenda mapini fo basabika nomba ukutukususha kuli pesa bayempi besobotulesha tini bayempi tabayishibo kuingira mu mukongo ni bamone ifire chitika fish tapati nomba busuma kuli pesa.
Efforts to get a comment from area member of parliament Mike Mposha were unsuccessful as his phone could not be reached. Vincent Piri for Camnet TV News, Lusaka.
As the festivities continue, some residents in Lusaka have described 2023 as economically difficult due to the high cost of living. Fred Kapoto, a bus driver, says the high and unstable fuel prices have negatively impacted his operations as he spent more on buying fuel than the profit. Mr. Kapoto says despite the challenges, he is excited about being alive and hopes for the best in 2024. Meanwhile, Zambia police spokesperson Ray Hamonga has cautioned members of the public to celebrate responsibly. Vincent Piri reports.
It is that time of the year again when chicken and rice is on most Zambia's menu to symbolize celebration for making it to another year. Camnet TV went around the streets of Lusaka and has seen most people were in shopping mood. As you may guess, chicken was never to miss on the shopping list. In describing how 2023 has been, most Lusaka residents have described it as an economically difficult year, as evidenced by the high cost of living and exorbitant prices for basic goods.
ni zakwatia ndrama kai bonse basebeza pati tumaresi swanga kango pezekana tweve maisi maresi tweve pezekana tweve sunde wambili tunashashira ko jaja at least celebrate kwa 2023 taifa ya sira so no wanda tunasunga ko tumandrama kwa celebration 2023 taifa ya so maya hapa stiza mwezi angalida 2024 maisi so 2024
to be honest, vintu nivovuta, but like I've said, even if vintu vavuta ine vaechechi zazabwera kunipasa unga pa nyumba zazabwera kunchitira chance wakapuwa kunchitira chance. All I have to do, I have to work hard, because Tingachinya president of now but still things will still be the same. Wanzatu bila ngwafucha ma China vakufa wa Tanzania you know, a lot of challenges which we are not even facing here. Yeah, so as for me, I need to work hard.
For bus drivers, unstable fuel prices have affected their businesses. However, they are hopeful that the coming year will be better.
Natukalira badi sema bus driver due to fuel natura maningi so pesa kati ndrama zambiri zienda ku fuel dan ndrama zetu pale so tungapempego shem 2024 but gani zira wache pale fuel kayo dabo wasenza 5 trips or 7 trips a day of 1 pay so pesa at the end of the day tutanga choro 100 or 100 squat so fuel natura tiranja ramuga sema bus driver
ngashina vindu konse bevillage nguri wantu wamozi ngoba ngibazenda tukuzana sipomene makuru sinafere mukati but vindu nguri but yeah celebrate that chemuje kali tafika kumaiza makuru 24 antache expect chicken toka chati this 7 trip chinje kwa chivako chemwizi vantu sasingaba ningena ma pressure.
Meanwhile, police spokesperson Ray Hamonga has cautioned members of the public to celebrate the New Year holiday responsibly.
We want to prove to the public that even as we go for the New Year, we need to continue, even do more on the adherence to the regulations on the road. We have police presence on the road, not for the sake of us wanting to be on the road, but for the sake of the deaths that are occurring on the road. So we want to reduce those fatalities.
In many countries, Zambia inclusive, New Year's Eve is celebrated with eating, dancing, drinking and watching or lighting fireworks. However, it is also time that criminal activities and road accidents increase, and so there's need to be conscious or be the holiday statistic a few days to come. Vincent Piri for Camnet TV News, Lusaka.
Kamwala Ward 5 Councillor Minda SIMATAA says a fatal train accident is looming at a heavily populated and busy level crossing point in Cala Market due to deformed rail lines which are being weakened by heavy good trucks. Mr. SIMATAA has expressed disappointment with the poor and responsive work culture exhibited by the Road Development Agency RDA engineers who failed to provide simple secondary school level crossing drawings requested by the Zambia Railways Management. Councillor SIMATAA has since disclosed that he has escalated the matter to the Minister of Infrastructure and Urban Development, Charles Bilupi.
Of a level crossing at this point, and there's no way it can take more than 1 month for a level crossing to be done. Furthermore, the business community here has agreed to provide the materials which are needed for the level crossing, but we are disappointed that RGA and Zambia Railways continue to throw the ball between themselves. So as councillor, I'm concerned that especially in this rain season, we might have a fatality and other incidences endangering lives happening here. So that is my appeal to RGA and also Zambia Railways, that the level crossing here must be worked on as a matter of urgency.
Kabata Constituency Development Fund Committee Chairperson Chilekwa Munkonge has described the implementation of CDF projects in 2023 as successful. Mr. Munkonge tells Camnet News that in 2023, the constituency has built a number of classroom blocks as well as delivered a number of decks to schools. Speaking in an interview, Mr. Munkonge also cited the commencement of paving of ZAMBE Market and among other projects, adding that the year will be used as a benchmark for even more success. We have the details in the following report.
With the government Saturday announcing that all the budgeted CDF funds of 4.7 billion kwacha for 2023 has been released, Kabata Constituency in Lusaka Province has described the CDF implementation in the year under review a success. Kabata CDF Committee Chairperson Chilekwa Munkonge says the constituency has implemented a number of projects from classroom block construction and delivery of school desks among others. Speaking in an interview with Camnet News, Mr. Munkonge also disclosed that interest of bursaries at various levels in 2023 increased from less than 100 in 2022 to more than 800 beneficiaries in 2023.
We have done extremely well, of which I think we had about, is it about 83 last in 2022. Now we have about 800 and something which we have sponsored so far. So looking at 2024, it will be a very big challenge because I'm being told by WDC that they have received a lot of applications from all the 5 wards.
Mr. Munkonge says the constituency will soon commence installation of streetlights in all its 5 wards.
And also looking at the paving of ZAMBE Market, it has really also added an advantage to us that we are doing well. Very soon or later, we are start putting up streetlights in all the 5 wards. So you can see there's a lot of improvement in terms of how we are utilizing the CDF.
With CDF implementation not free from shortcomings, it is however hoped that such successful stories could be replicated elsewhere if the goal of decentralization of the fund is to be achieved. For Camnet TV News, Afias Kaptula, Lusaka.
Opposition Citizens First Party leader Harry Kalaba has advised government to capacitate the cadastre department in the Ministry of Mines and Mineral Development to speed up the issuance of mining licenses. Mr. Kalaba says the current status, where one has to wait for months to be issued with a license, is encouraging illegal mining in the country. On Thursday, November 30th, over 30 small-scale miners in Chingola were trapped underground following heavy rains that characterized the area.
Recently, over 30 small-scale miners were trapped at Sensedi Mine in Chingola district on the Copper Belt. Many stakeholders have attributed this to lack of policies by the current government. As of Tuesday, December 26th, 2023, Copperbelt Minister Elisha Matambo gave an update on the accident where he disclosed that the operations may take a little bit longer.
The operations team have had serious challenges in terms of the operations. We had heavy rains, I think, the past 1 week, which has made the entire week very difficult, both on site 2 and site 3. I don't want to talk about site 1. I'm sure we concluded that we are trying to acquire the machinery, which I think may take a little bit longer. And the operations there, we said, may take about 2 weeks. 2 months.
Opposition Citizens First Party President Harry Kalaba has advised government not to give up on the operation but employ appropriate machinery.
That is why we said in the first place, government did not even know how many people were trapped at that Sensedi mine. Government didn't even pay attention to ensuring that they should have commandeered all kinds of equipment to be there. What the people of Chingola wanted was to ensure that the miners who were trapped were found, as opposed to what was obtaining right now. So it is sad that government is having intentions of stopping the rescue mission. They should go on for as long as they should, until they are satisfied that everybody has been rescued, until families stop looking for their loved ones. It's the responsibility of government to continue searching for those lost ones.
Meanwhile, Mr. Kalaba has advised government to capacitate the cadastre department to speed up the issuance of mining licenses. Mr. Kalaba says the current status, where one has to wait for months to be issued with a license, is discouraging many Zambians from engaging in legal mining and resort to illegal mining, which in the end has caused a disaster at Sensedi Mine.
Government should follow the laid-down procedure which is already there at Ministry of Mines at Cadastre. They should ensure that the Cadastre department is well lubricated. Enough personnel is required. The red tape which is there, the meetings that they have once every month should be brought to at least weekly so that they can expedite the issuance of small-scale mining licenses. Zambians want to work for themselves. They don't want handouts. But if they want to work for themselves and on the other hand, you keep on infringing on them by making the process so laborious, it's a problem. One has to wait for 1 month, 2 months, 1 year before they can renew their license. For what? I think it's high time these things are done within 24 hours. But typical of the UPND, they are good at talking and never good at action.
Vincent Piri for Camnet TV News, Lusaka.
Mumba Constituency Member of Parliament Credo Nanjua has advised United Party for National Development, ward and constituency officials to take keen interest in the CDF and other community projects being implemented by government. Speaking during the Mumba Constituency end-of-year party Saturday night, Mr. Nanjua, who is also Southern Province Minister, says local party leaders should take stock and audit developmental projects in all the 12 wards of the constituency. Mr. Nanjua adds that the honeymoon is over and it is now time for hard work centered on mobilization, as it is the surest way of retaining power in 2026.
The United Party for National Development, UPND in Mumba Constituency Central Province, Saturday night held an end-of-year party to mark the close of 2023. Speaking during the event, Mumba Constituency Member of Parliament, Namjua called for hard work among party members by taking stock and audit of government projects in their localities. Mr. Nanjua says that successful implementation of government projects in all 12 wards of the constituency, beyond improved service delivery to citizens, will enable the ruling party have a grip on power in the constituency.
In Central Province under UPND, from I don't know time, we have always won in Mumba district. Forward. Now I want us to continue moving in that direction. Officials, I want you to work. Don't be divided. Now we have got no reason to be divided. We are in government. Or you want to go into opposition?
Mr. Nanjua used the event to declare 2024 as a year of party mobilization through service delivery to citizens.
In 2026, I'm thinking PF will not have a candidate in Mumba. That's what I'm thinking. How do we do that? We should go and recruit all those brothers and sisters who were that side. Zambia! Forward! We should not be greedy. We need to grow the party.
During the event, all 12 ward chairpersons were given documents showing projects under implementation to enable them to track progress in collaboration with civic leaders and other implementing agencies. For Camnet TV News, Afias Kaptula.
Patriots for Economic Progress leader Sean Tembo has urged the Anti-Corruption Commission to be impartial in its handling of the case of former Foreign Affairs Minister Stanley Kakubo. Mr. Tembo says the case of Mr. Kakubo strongly suggests money laundering, and the SEC should apply the similar measure of property seizures, among others, as witnessed from those belonging to the opposition. Speaking in an interview with Camnet News, Mr. Tembo also regretted the move by President Hakainde Hichilema, who seemingly heaped praise on the former minister, stating that it has potential to derail investigative wings.
Minister of Foreign Affairs, we are concerned by the statements which were issued by the President, where he was apparently defending Mr. Kakubo, and he was essentially reducing the gravity of the issues that we witnessed for ourselves. I think it is worth noting that the President wields a lot of power in our democracy, and when the President comments about a particular issue, then it has the potential to influence other institutions. It has the potential to undermine the ability of law enforcement agencies to properly investigate that matter. It has a lot of potential to actually undermine the fight against corruption. And our expectation is that the Anti-Corruption Commission and other law enforcement agencies are not just going to do investigations, but they need to treat that case the way they treat cases related to the opposition, where they move in and they confiscate property, they seize bank accounts, and so on and so forth. So far, we have not seen any of that. We've just heard of statements from the Anti-Corruption Commission saying that they have instituted investigations. We expect Mr. Stanley Kakubo to be treated in the same manner that opposition leaders, especially those from the Patriotic Front, are treated when they are being investigated for corruption-related offenses.
President Hakainde Hichilema has urged Zambians to use diversity in unity to foster hard work and national development. The president has further emphasized on the need for Zambian citizens to embrace hard work and utilize their various talents to create jobs and business opportunities. President Hichilema has added that he will also focus on making credit facility window available in the coming year in order for the people to venture in various enterprises. President Hichilema said this in Choma today at the New Apostolic Church, where he attended a service.
It was another day of worship for the First Family, this time at the Choma Central Apostolic Church. Here, President Hakainde Hichilema reiterated his commitment to opening up the economy by supporting the growth of business enterprises and increasing job opportunities.
I want to emphasize that 2024, part and many of our desires to open up the economy, to create more opportunities for his people, his people, his citizens. That's our agenda. We want to focus on job creation for our people, business opportunities for our people. Climate change, we want to invest more in water harvest so we can irrigate, so we can assure the nation of food for all our families. We want to focus on making credit available to our people so they can enterprise in many ways.
The president also called for a positive attitude among Zambians and embraced diversity in unity as a passport for development.
We look forward into 2024 with a positive attitude. Let me emphasize the message of unity in our country, working together. Diversity is not a passport for disunity. Diversity is a passport to pull in the talents from different components of our society. That's the way I see things. It's on the platform of unity that the country, in fact, the families and the countries will achieve greater things. We need to work hard. As citizens of Zambia, as your chief servant, I want to urge you, going into 2024, we must work hard. We must utilize God's assets, God's gifts to us.
The Choma Central New Apostolic Church Apostle Ringson Ndambo described President Hichilema as an icon of peace.
We are fully aware of the love that you attach to the many Zambians. A selfless servant of us, the citizens of Zambia. We are also aware about the much effort you're doing to unite this country. You are our icon of peace. So you don't just talk about it, but you also demonstrate it.
January 1, 2024, the first family will interact with people of Masuku in the outskirts of Choma.
I would like to inform the nation that the President, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, begins 2024 on the new year, tomorrow, 1st January 2024, by way of interacting with citizens by holding a public New Year rally in Choma Central Constituency in Masuku area.
Nchimunya Nalumpa, Zanis, in Choma, Southern Province.
The Energy Regulation Board has maintained the pump prices for petrol, diesel and kerosene for the month of January 2023. ERB Board Chairperson Reynolds Boa says petrol will continue selling at 29 kwacha 98 ngwe per litre, 29 kwacha 96 ngwe per litre for diesel and 20 kwacha 44 ngwe for kerosene. Speaking during a press conference on Sunday, Engineer Boa says the pump prices for petrol and diesel have been maintained as the movements in the international oil prices and exchange rate of the kwacha against the United States dollars were minimal and below the set threshold of 2.5%. He, however, explains that the pump price for kerosene has also been maintained as the country has sufficient national stock. This is the main news on Camnet TV. We now take our first set of commercials. I will be back with more news after the break.
Potatoes, the unsung heroes of flavor. From crispy chips to creamy mash, potatoes are the versatile superstars of your kitchen. Grown with love by our dedicated workforce drawn from around the community of Palavana. Savenda Farm's commitment is to see to it that we have potatoes that are grown right, healthy, big and tasty. For that quick fix or big celebration or that meal that brings family together, top chefs rely on the Savenda potato to create culinary masterpieces. And for others, it's that icebreaker to a delightful conversation. So, embrace the magic of Savenda potatoes. They're not just a side dish, they're the heart and soul of your kitchen. Savenda, save nations, develop Africa.
I never have this feeling
in my heart.
Are you planning to marry or get married? Contact the Camnet Media team for a professional capturing of your big day in life. Let your relatives, friends, and the nation join you in celebrating your big day on television. Just at a manageable fee, Camnet Television will cover and transmit your wedding on your channel of choice. Contact the marketing department on mobile number. Camnet Television, not just another channel.
I give my love to having home.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. RenGlow, your smart irrigation partner.
Camnet TV News continues. The Remnant Farmers Foundation has donated assorted items to the LUSAKA Remand Correctional Facility as part of the festive season commemoration. Organization founder Ruth Sibanda says the gesture aims at extending love to the less privileged citizens who are in incarceration. Ms. Sibanda notes that people in detention lack many basic needs, hence the initiative seeks to complement authorities towards the creation of better living conditions. Among the donated items include the sanitary towels for women, sugar, cooking oil, and washing paste. She says the organization is keen to contribute to the well-being of the community as part of its corporate social responsibility.
This is one of my rituals that I do. You know, I'm not the one of the life that I have. I'm not the one of the health that I have. So for me, it's a ritual to say before the year elapses, every sale that I make during the year, there is 10% that is kept to come and do at it, to come and also give it to the people that are less privileged. Because that is me, that it's something that is always in me. So you find that this is the 10% of the total sales that I had done in a specific crop that I had said I will do this. It's a way of opening. I'm asking God to open the blessings in 2024. This time I've got funds where I'm asking, He should have a reason for blessing me. At the end of the day, God should have a reason why I should be blessed, because I'm also a blessing. If I bless it, other people also they're getting the blessings from me. So we are blessed to bless. That is the equation of life. It is not only here, but most of the time, sometimes I go to hospitals. I may buy what is needed there, and then I give the people here. Like last year, that's what I did. And then also this year, I'm thinking of the remind, the people that are in prison. So mostly I've got a number of people that I look at. I also do, especially if it comes to birthdays, I take care of the aged. That is the only way to say thank you, Mom, for bringing me back to life, for giving me the life that I have. So sometimes I do the aged, not street kids, but the aged, 75 and above. You find that if I've got something, then I'll arrange maybe 20 of them, and then I touch life. So it's something that is in me. In fact, this year I wanted it to be big, but it's only that I shared the information late with the Remnant. They were supposed to have this program to say, okay, as Remnant, this is what we're supposed to do in all the provinces. Let's say if we are to look at Remnant Central Province, Southern, it is an initiative that should be embraced in all the 10 provinces under the cooperatives. So we have started, I communicated this late, but it was something that was supposed to be big. So 2024, I'm expecting such a gesture to be done by all the Remnant farmers across the country.
Media experts are optimistic that the newly asserted to access to information bill into law will improve the practice of investigative journalism in the country. One of the experts, John Kandani, also says the signing of the ATI bill into law will reduce incidences of mis- and disinformation among members of the public. Meanwhile, Panos Institute Southern Africa Programs Officer Nyambe Jere has commended government for the bold move to enact the bill into law. However, he is concerned to lack of an independent clause that protects whistleblowers.
During his 2023 end-of-year press conference on Friday, December 22, 2023, President Hakainde Hichilema signed the much-awaited for Access to Information Bill into law. This is after the bill was shelved for over 20 years by successive governments, despite promising to enact the bill into law. Media experts have described this as a game-changer, especially for the media fraternity in the country. Legal expert and media specialist John Kadani says the signing of the HI bill into law will reduce incidences of mis- and disinformation among members of the public.
The President having assented to the Access to Information Bill, it means that now ministries, public bodies, they are to employ what are called information officers. So now it will no longer be the PS. So what this will help now is that I think it will help in terms of the reduction of misinformation and disinformation and fake news, in that now information will be proactively disclosed and that the majority of the people now will be able to access public information without, even when the PS is on leave or when the PS is not there. So this is quite good for a democracy, in that this will also be able to enhance the democratic principles of accountability and transparency.
Meanwhile, Panos Institute Southern Africa Programs Officer Nyambe Jere says the law will improve the practice of investigative journalism in the country.
The ATI law is a game changer for the media space, considering that the media is the fourth estate. So that being said, it helps improve on investigative journalism. We can see that that has lagged for the longest possible time. And in so doing, sources are able to now give information because they are compelled through proactive disclosure. Most times journalists won't have to request for that information because it will already be provided for. It will also enhance on citizen participation, because now citizens will have information readily at hand to allow for them to participate in democratic processes. Other than that, it will also promote on freedom of the media, because we know that information has been a limiting factor in how the media can operate in its scope.
On the other hand, Nyambe is however concerned with the lack of an independent clause that protects whistleblowers in the Act.
The whistleblowers provision that has been left out in the Act, we feel that this is something that should have been explicitly put there to protect those that give out information. We also understand that the information officer is going to be protected in the sense that if they give out information which they thought would be in good faith, then it protects them. However, to a greater extent, the whistleblower is not protected in that regard, because sometimes it's not the information officer only that gives out this information. Further than that, we also see that proactive disclosure is now just one section, when in the previous bill we saw that it was a whole part that was specifically given for proactive disclosure. In the new bill, we see that information officers just assume that they must give out information because it is a right. However, we would have loved to see stringent measures put in place that compel the information officer to give out information.
The right to access information is guided by the idea that information should be easily accessible in order to support democracy. Enabling people to inform themselves makes social dialogue possible and allows the citizens to exercise their right to freedom of expression more purposefully. Vincent Piri for Camnet TV News, Lusaka.
The Movement for Restoration of Teachers' Affairs in Zambia, MORETA, is delighted to see big unions agreeing to come together in order to save the teachers in one accord. MORETA Zambia Executive Director Samuel Mbumba is, however, shocked with the propaganda that is being peddled against the organization in an effort to sour its relationship with key stakeholders. Dr. Mbumba has reminded the peddlers of propaganda that such was used as a way of survival by the weak and visionless institutions and individuals in the past regimes, but not anymore in the New Dawn government.
We as MORETA Zambia would like to actually make it clear that this propaganda that is going on in the teacher unions, where Betus is being accused of being pro-PF, I think this is unfortunate. These unions in the Ministry of Education, they cannot start pointing fingers at each other. They know for sure who has been against the New Dawn government and who has been a pro-PF activist. And so this is not the time to point fingers. You know, Moreta is trying to make sure that we work together with the unions. And now, because they have seen Moreta is now working with the unions, they just want to start now using propaganda so that we can be disunited in the Ministry of Education. I think that is quite unfortunate, and it cannot be tolerated. This New Dawn government is not interested in that. This New Dawn government is interested in healing the nation, is interested in transparency, accountability, and the rule of law. And I think for now, let's try to make sure that we avoid the finger pointing. The government knows who is who. So it's not people that should start doing these propagandas to win mileage with the New Dawn government. I think that will not work out, and this should go as a warning to everyone that we should not actually do that.
The promotion of cage fish farming by the government through Zambia Aquaculture Development ZAEDP project is taking shape in Zambezi district of Northwestern Province. Provincial Fisheries Officer in the Ministry of Fisheries and Livestock, Frank Chihana, says the ZAEDP project, which is funded by African Development Bank through Citizens Economic Empowerment Commission, CEEC, is progressing well, with most of the cages stocked with fingeries in the district. Mr. Chihana was speaking to Nais in Zambezi after inspecting the project.
Aquaculture development has continued to motivate farmers with its modern outlook of fish cages. Apart from being modern, the new technology of keeping fish is also profitable. No wonder government, through Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission, CEC, is investing in such innovations and empowerment programs aimed at boosting fish farming and other businesses along the fish value chain. They have supported farmers in Zambezi district with fish cages and stocked with fingerlings. Humphrey Senena is CEC Provincial Coordinator for Northwestern Province.
The project we have undertaken is the cage farming. There we promote fish farming using the cages. In Zambezi, between Mukanda Nkunda and Zambezi Boma, we have such cages, and these have fully been funded. We hope that they will be able to benefit the local people and improve on the production of fish.
The project, which is funded by African Development Bank through Zambia Aquaculture Enterprise Development Project, ZAEDEP, has also created employment to the youths in the district. Through this project, I've been employed as a security guard to manage the facility. I thank government for the support.
Cage fish farming is currently a profitable business, which as a department we are promoting, and we are so impressed with the current happenings, because currently we are still in deficit of fish and still importing from other countries, which should not be the case, looking at the opportunities that this land has.
The Department of Fisheries in the district is also available for technical support to these beneficiaries.
Currently, we have got 19 people that have been fully funded under CEC. The Department of Fisheries, we come in to provide the technical support to our farmers in terms of trainings on how to feed our fish, on how to manage our fish as we grow them to a marketable size.
As for provincial Fisheries and Livestock Marketing Development Officer Ivwananji Simuchimba, cage fisheries is profitable.
Produce 2,500 kg after harvest, and if we're going to have 6 cages in a cycle, we're going to expect 15,000. And we are supposed to have 2 cycles in a year, so that will give us 30,000 tons of fish. And if you're going to divide that into the population of 108,000 in Zambezi, it means that each person will be consuming 3.6 kg of fish.
Krivach Tuta, reporting in Zambezi district, Northwestern Province.
Still to come in the news, former First President SIMATAA tips CHIPOLOPOLO ahead of AFCON. To join me with the details after the break.
Get all the latest updates in court news only on Camnet TV. We take you and make you feel part of the court sessions through our in-depth coverage of the adjudication process. Get informed on those who have been arrested, delayed and denied the police bond or bail victims, persons taking plea, court adjournments, verdicts, and those administration issues in the judiciary. Camnet TV is on channel 274 on DSTV, channel 25 on GoTV, and find us on channel 106 on Topstar. You can also follow and give us a like on our social media platforms. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Introducing Darren B, a touch of class. Are you looking for the perfect place to elevate your style and glam up? Look no further. Darren B Touch of Class is your one-stop destination for hair and makeup transformation. Walk into Darren B and walk out feeling like a star. Your transformation starts here. Call us on 0772 870 588 or WhatsApp on 0972 049 213 to book your appointment today. Payments are made via mobile money or point of sale machine. Strictly no cash payments. We are located along Mossy Road in Ibex Hill, fourth close on the left after Kalikiliki Police Post. At Darren B, we pride ourselves on our team of dedicated and trained personnel ready to pamper both women and children. Darren B is open 7 days a week from 0720 hours to 1740 hours. From trendy hairstyles and stylish makeovers to flawless makeup, we do it all. Darren B, a touch of class.
And now for the rest of the news. In international news, flash floods have killed at least 21 people in the small town of Ladysmith in KWAZULU-NATAL province in South Africa. According to police spokesperson Colonel Robert Neshaldi, as of Friday, 29 December 2023, a total of 21 bodies were recovered. Colonel Netshuda says the floods hit the town on Christmas Day, destroying about 1,400 homes, with the death toll expected to rise as an unconfirmed number of people were still missing. Here's a roundup of international news.
The number of people killed in recent flash floods in KwaZulu-Natal province, South Africa, has risen to 21, with 3 more still missing. Heavy rains on December 24 resulted in Bellsprout River bursting its banks, causing water to overflow in Ladysmith town, KwaZulu-Natal province, according to the Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs. As a result, several vehicles traveling along the road and households located nearby were swept away. The South African Weather Service has warned that sporadic showers and thunderstorms are expected in the region on Sunday, and that there are still likely to be floods since the ground is saturated due to the past rains. In June, heavy rainfall triggered deluge that killed 7 people and another 7 went missing in and around the city of Durban, while more than 440 people were killed in April 2022 when devastating floods hit the coastal province. A debate is growing in Nigeria over ethics in ram fighting. Many ram owners view the sparring between the animals as sport and entertainment they can gamble on. The competitions aren't illegal, but animal rights groups say it is sport which cruelly exploits the animals.
Training of rams is just like boxing. If you can fight, you can fight. If you cannot fight, you cannot fight. It's just a natural something. But if you detect that your ram have the ability to fight, we just try to do some other little trainings to them, like padding them, sparring them, and taking them for road walk. After doing that, you can now take them for a challenge.
Rams are usually trained outdoors, sometimes several times a day in the run-up to a fight. The level of care given to the animals depends on the owners, who are not members of any sporting body.
A lot of people complain that ram fighting is animal cruelty, but to us, we do have our own rules. If you are doing a whole competition and there's any blood dropped or any bloodshed, we do stop the competition. And in boxing, there's fighting about, and people don't complain about that boxing, but animal, our own ram, if there's any blood during their own competition, we stop the fights.
Like boxing, the rams are categorized according to weight. Rams fight by locking horns in the wild in order to secure sexual dominance over a herd, but here they are encouraged to show dominance as part of a competition.
This is just something that we take as fun. A lot of people don't have the time to go and play football or anything, or a lot of people don't even like watching football or basketball, whatever. But this is something that you can watch live. This is the opportunity just to catch your fun at a leisure hour.
At this tournament, there are about 100 spectators who have entered 70 rams into a competition. Where there is betting, the rams are allowed 70 or more blows before the referee declares a tie.
I want the government to ban ram fighting alongside with the malpractices that surrounds it. When you subject a ram to several things that tortures the brain, that turns the brain upside down, the ram becomes so dangerous, and then as time goes on, when you use ram to perform those practices, they become exhausted to death.
Over the years, many animal activists have advocated for the prohibition of ram fighting. They say the animals at tournaments are left for hours on end without food or shade from the sun, yet there's been no official regulation from the authorities. Fleeing Israel's bombardment of the center of the Gaza Strip, tens of thousands of Palestinians have streamed into already crowded towns at the southernmost end of the city. With the new arrivals, Rafah and its surrounding area are now packed with some 850,000 people, more than triple the normal population according to UN figures. We came here 20 days ago. We couldn't find any place to put a tent, and so we're staying at the entrance of the mosque. We have no shelter except for this mosque. I'm here with 3 wives of my sons and my husband, who is suffering from his back. We've not had any support. We asked the mosque and others for help, but they said there isn't any available. So we're appealing to the Arab countries to help us and find a solution. The UN says around 100,000 people have arrived in Rafah along the border with Egypt in recent days, arriving in trucks, carts and on foot. Those who did not find space in the already overwhelmed shelters put up tents on roadsides slick with mud from winter rains. We spent 3 days sleeping in a garden in the street because lots of people were displaced to Rafah. Personally, we don't have blankets, no clothes, no food. We didn't know where to stay. Then on the 3rd day, I found a good man who told us the only place that you could stay is here in the street next to where there is sewage. It's not suitable for human living. Israel's unprecedented air and ground offensive against Hamas has displaced some 85% of the Gaza Strip's 2.3 million residents, sending swells of people in Israel-designated safe areas that the military has also bombed.
Former Football Association of Zambia President SIMATAA has advised the CHIPOLOPOLO boys to be focused ahead of the forthcoming Africa Cup of Nations tournament. SIMATAA says the boys have the potential to do wonders and can succeed if they have the mentality of focus. The CHIPOLOPOLO boys are in Group F alongside Tanzania, Congo DR and Morocco, and their opening match will be against Congo DR on January 17, 2024.
We can do a lot of similarities. We assembled, if you remember, a national team from the Gabon disaster. 9 months later, it was at the Africa Cup. I was privileged then to lead that team, and privileged again to reach the finals, and we lost only to Nigeria, came out with silver. 9 months. One of the outstanding qualities of that team, which I hope this team can emulate, was that they had a purpose. It wasn't about skill, talent, it was about purpose. The many events and situations we went in, and they were hard ones. The players should just concentrate on their name and achieving it. And the country will be done proud. They can do it. I have heard a lot of these players. I haven't had the opportunity to watch them in 5 years. I must tell you, I switched off football, even on television, except words from people, rumors, and the rest.
That's it for our main news for tonight. Here are the top stories. LUSAKA residents brace for 2024 amid the persistent high cost of living. The Energy Regulation Board maintains the fuel pump price. President HICHILEMA calls for unity in diversity to foster national development. In international news, flash floods killed 21 people in South Africa's KWAZULU-NATAL province. And in sports news, former Vice President SIMATAA tips CHIPOLOPOLO ahead of AFCON. Our Camnet verse of the day is coming from the book of Leviticus 19, verse 13. Do not defraud or rob your neighbor. Do not hold back the wages of a hired worker overnight. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Sylvia Zulu, and have a blessed new year ahead. Good night.